Hey there everybody, welcome back to my channel for another acrylic pouring tutorial. Today I'm doing another Dutch pour. Today I'm doing a split base Dutch pour where one half of the canvas is going to get a white base coat and one half is going to get this dark phthalo green base coat. Now, as you can see, I've already brushed on a first coat of the phthalo green and it is dry. And I did that for two reasons. First of all, phthalo green is a transparent or semi-transparent color, which means on the edges it is prone to getting thin and not covering terribly well. Any dark color will not cover fully on the edges without a little bit of touching up unless the paint is quite thick, and in a Dutch pour the paint is thin. So because it's a dark color and because it's a semi-transparent color, I decided to put on a coat in advance, and that way the wet paint on top of this first layer should create a nice solid green coverage all the way across the top and the sides. So that's already done. If you're using a light color as your split base, you do not have to paint it on ahead of time. That's only for a dark or for a transparent color. Okay, so I've got my earth tones colors: metallic gold, metallic copper, burnt umber, green oxide, and then I've got white and phthalo green as my base colors. All of my paint is mixed, basically 1 part paint to 2 parts floetrol, and then thinned with water. And these are mixed thin, so you can watch my video about how to mix paint for a Dutch pour, which will tell you how I mixed these. So everything is mixed, it's mixed pretty thin. Now when you use floetrol for a Dutch pour, your paint never quite feels watery, it just feels very thin. So nice thin stream, but still not, it doesn't feel like water. Okay, I think we've covered everything. Let's go ahead and put the base colors on. So I've got my blow dryer here, which is what I'm going to use to manipulate the colors, but because it's such small amounts of base coat on this 8x8 canvas, I'm going to spread out the base coat with a palette knife. Okay, I've got my base layers down, the white and the phthalo green, and they're pretty much covering the edges all around. But as I blow it out, I'm sure it will cover more than it is right now. But you don't want to have big gaps that you have to cover later. So now it's time to put the colors on. So instead of putting my colors in a puddle in the middle, I'm going to make a line across this divide. So I'm going to start with my green oxide. I'm going to start over here, and you start your stream off the canvas so that you can make a nice thin line coming across. Then I'm going to do the burnt umber. And then the metallic copper. And finally the metallic gold. Okay, I think this is going to be really pretty. So the next thing to add is a little bit extra base coat on either side of your colors. This is your flow paint. It's going to make sure that there's enough paint on the canvas for all those colors to be able to blow across. If you don't have enough paint on the canvas, your colors won't move as far. So that's what the flow paint is for. All right, let's get the blow dryer and blow the paint over the colors, or at least partially, and then we'll blow it out. So I didn't blow the base paint completely over, but I did kind of squash them together. That helps the colors blend a little bit, but also leave some of the clean color in the middle. All right, now I'm going to blow from kind of the center of the line up and from the center of the line down. Okay, so that's very cool. I was blowing on medium speed, so it didn't blow really, really fast, but that's fine because it's a small canvas and I didn't want it to get away from me. I really like how the colors are interacting. I love the metallics. Now I'm going to use my mouth to blow out a few more areas. Okay, I'm really liking it. I don't love this big blob of white. Let me think about how I can get rid of that. I'm going to take a straw and just try to suck up some of that white to vacuum it away, and then once some of that's gone, then I'll blow some more. Okay, I do need to cover this. I'm going to cover it with just a little bit of the copper. And a little bit more of that gold, because that is so pretty. My straw had some saliva in it and I dripped. Okay, I'm liking that much more now. This section I think needs just a little bit of work, so I'm going to turn it back around. Since I have such a small area to work in, I just have to keep turning the canvas instead of moving myself around. Okay, I'm liking this a lot. I feel like there aren't any sections anymore that I'm really distracted by. If there's little points that are round that you want to sort of turn more into a wisp, I just like a little tiny palette knife. Okay, I'm happy with that. Let me give you a close-up. All right, here it is. I forgot to torch before I turned off the camera, so I used my kitchen torch just to add a little bit of fine details here. It didn't pull up any big cells, but a little bit of extra detail in the middle. So these metallics are going to look amazing when they're dry because they're super shimmery right now. But yeah, it's a very cool effect to do a split base. You can get some very dramatic results. Thanks for joining me for this video, and I hope you'll come back to my channel and watch some of my other videos. So I will see you next time.